I'm Rick Sanchez. There is a tape out there that many of you haven't seen. It shows Sarah Palin actually in a debate in 2006 when she wanted to be the governor of the state of Alaska. She looks, according to most people who've seen that tape, very, very competent. Then, of course, there's the Katie Couric interview, and these are the kind of responses that we've been getting. Let's go to the Twitter board if we can. I think people are saying, let's go in tight on that. Thank you, Johnny Be Good. I think she's gonna blow it tonight. The Couric interview, Palin will show up because there won't be a teleprompter. So everyone seems to be talking about that and not the other side. To be fair, because most people haven't seen the other side. To be fair, we will let you see the other side. We've got 2 clips of her during that debate back in 2006 in Alaska. All right, we can get off of that, and I'm going to be sharing that with you in just a little bit. Before we do anything else, we have Tucker Bounds, who's joining us now. Tucker Bounds is with the John McCain campaign. Before we go to him, I want to show you something. This is an ad that was just put out about an hour and a half ago when we received it here at CNN. It's a McCain ad that seems to target Joe Biden. Let's look at it together.
John McCain, and I approve this message.
What might Joe Biden say at tonight's debate? Anything's possible.
I think I probably have a much higher IQ than you do.
What am I talking about?
We know he has impeccable tact.
You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. I'm not joking. What am I talking about?
Maybe he'll send Hillary in his place.
Hillary Clinton is as qualified or more qualified than I am. It might have been a better pick than me. What am I talking about?
And what might he say about his vote to raise taxes on those making just $42,000 a year?
It's time to be patriotic. Hey, time to jump in. Time to be part of the deal.
Yeah, what am I talking about?
We know he'd never embarrass himself.
Chuck, stand up, Chuck. Let him see you. Oh, God love you. What am I talking about?
Ready to gaffe? Yes. Ready to lead? No.
We are joined now by a representative of the John McCain campaign. Tucker Bounds is good enough to join us. Tucker, you there?
Hi, Rick. How are you?
Oh, good. I'm glad. If everything worked out with your, I see you're holding on to your earpiece there. You can hear me, right?
Yep, I can hear you. Barely.
Beautiful. All right. Our viewers just saw that new ad that you all released about Joe Biden. What are you trying to say there?
Well, I think we're pointing to some very serious points, which is we're going to have a spirited debate tonight about real issues. And Joe Biden has shown a propensity, just like his running mate Barack Obama, to say whatever is politically expedient, oftentimes not exactly based in truth. Also pointed to a vote that both of those candidates made in support of higher taxes for Americans making just $42,000 a year. I think those are important points to make when you consider that these are 2 candidates that are talking about running to represent the middle class, but their records don't actually show that they've stood up for the middle class when it counts most in their paychecks.
Let me ask you a question about Sarah Palin. I mean, we're getting a lot of people who've been watching that Katie Couric interview who are very concerned, and not from a partisan standpoint. In many cases, these are women who are Republicans who are concerned that finally the Republican Party has put up a woman and that she might let them down. And the only reason they're setting their expectation there is because of what they watched during the Katie Couric interview. Don't respond to me. Respond to those women who are saying that.
Well, I think that some of those are isolated incidents too, Rick, but I also want to point out that, you know, in the course of an hour or 2 long interview, there are some things that are going to be said that aren't going to look as smooth as they should, but they're certainly based in some firm convictions. And those are convictions that are largely held by a large swath of voters. When you look at her record of reforming government in Alaska, her record at the civic level as the city mayor, moving to the Oil and Gas Commission, then to the governor's office, making reforms. She's an expert on energy issues.
But Tucker, if she was an expert,
social issues that are strong to a number of Americans. I think taking a few sound bites or parsing some words from a few outside critics is dangerous today because they're going to see a candidate tonight. She's very talented, and she has a strong record.
That's fair, and you know what? You're absolutely right. And anybody who looks at that will say there's a record of achievement there. The question is, if you have that breadth and depth of experience, why doesn't it come out when someone asks you what seem to be simple journalistic questions? In fact, there's another example of that. It has to do with her being asked which newspapers and magazines she reads. It's a new clip that people seem to be talking about. We'll share it with you. We'll get your response. Tucker Bounds from the McCain campaign. Stay with us. and your responses on Twitter.com, MySpace, and Facebook.